Hi, hello, good evening. Welcome back to National IAS Academy. My name is Raj Shekhar. Dear students, I'll be your mentor for this initiative, which is called as Focus 300 Initiative. It is the initiative by National IAS Academy under which we shall be providing 300 most important topics which are highly relevant and most important for the upcoming UPSC Civil Services Prelims 2023. So all those topics we are covering in this initiative become highly relevant and important for the upcoming civil services examination. Right? So far we have completed 8 successful classes and 80 topics have been covered. Under this initiative, we shall be covering 10 topics per day and this initiative shall run for 30 days. Not just that, along with these 300 topics, you shall also be learning 3000 plus facts which are directly or indirectly needed and should be helpful in your preliminary examination. So with that being said, let us begin today's ninth class. In this class, we shall be covering from topic number 81 to topic number 90. These are next 10 most important topics. Right? First one is right to health. When there is any topic, first we should understand the context, and if there is any controversy surrounding that topic, that should be understood. Because like you have seen in previous year question paper, that is the prelims paper of 2022, you might have noticed UPSC is slowly changing the trend. In place of match the following, it is giving only one pair is correct, two pairs are correct, three pairs are correct, and important issues are being covered under the match the following sections. So in that particular context, it is necessary or very much necessary to understand the issue particular to with respect to any particular issue. Right here we have right to health. Why was it in news? First thing, Rajasthan state government has passed a bill which ensures a right to health to all of its citizens, which means, in other words, a right to health has now been ensured by a proper law in Rajasthan. Any citizen in living in Rajasthan can claim this right. So with this, Rajasthan has become, please remember, the first state in the country, first state in India to give this right to its citizens. What does this mean? It means in case of emergencies, any patient can approach any hospital, be it private or public. Both private and public, that means government hospitals, are covered under this law. So please remember, fourth point, in case of emergency, no hospital, it might be private or it might be government, no hospital can deny the treatment rights, or no hospital can deny the treatment to the patients. If any hospital or any clinic does so, then it becomes illegal. All right. So such hospitals can be punished with hefty fines. Please remember this. So the objective is to provide free healthcare facilities at all levels. The objective is to provide free healthcare facilities at all levels during emergencies. All right. Please remember this particular word, that is emergency situations. And when was this right to health first proposed? It was indirectly proposed by the establishment of World Health Organization. It was never legally or openly mentioned, but with the establishment of World Health Organization, it came to the forefront as a basic human right. Because immediately after the establishment, WHO first declared that basic human right should be the right to health, or right to health is a basic human right. All right. So then next particular question that you might be asked in your prelims is that health as a subject comes under which schedule or which part of the Indian Constitution? Please comment down in the comment section. Everyone should comment the right answer for this question. Under which schedule or which part of the Indian Constitution is health considered as a subject? And next question, is it a state subject? Is it a central subject, or is it a concurrent subject? Please comment down. Next, which part of the Indian Constitution, talks about health? There are mainly two provisions, talking about the right to health. First one is DPSP, that is Directive Principles of State Policy, Part 4 of the Indian Constitution, that is Directive Principles of the State Policy, ensures social and economic justice to the citizens of India. Social and economic justice to the citizens of India. And along with this, another provision which talks indirectly about the health is Article 21, that is right to life and personal liberty. Right to life and personal liberty. Please remember, these two articles under the Indian Constitution directly or indirectly indicate about the right to health. All right. So this is sufficient for right to health. Next topic we have is inflation targeting. Please remember, inflation targeting is a monetary tool. Why, I'll tell you. But please remember, inflation targeting is a monetary tool. It was established in the year 2016. Okay, why I'm calling it as a monetary tool? Because it is used by RBI, or the Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India has the responsibility to manage inflation targeting in India. Please remember, please pay attention. Inflation targeting is handled by the Reserve Bank of India. First point. Second point, inflation target has been set by the central government in consultation with the Reserve Bank, the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, targeting is done by the Reserve Bank of India using various monetary policy instruments, whereas the target has been or will be set by the central government in consultation with the Reserve Bank of India. So setting the target is different thing, and managing this target is a whole different thing. So in the year 2016, government proposed that it will be setting the inflation target for the central bank to be achieved, that is the Reserve Bank of India. So what is the target then? The target is 4%. So in a given financial year, the inflation should not cross 4%, plus or minus 2, they say. So it should not go beyond 6%, or it should not come below 2%, because disinflation is also not good for economy, or hyperinflation is also not good for the economy, which means a fine level of inflation is always necessary. Hyperinflation or disinflation, both are not suitable for any economy. So in that case, inflation target has been set, which is at 4%, and the overall objective of inflation targeting is to ensure price stability in the economy, which is ultimately beneficial for the citizens of any country or for the economy as a whole. So the inflation targets are set by the central government in consultation with the Reserve Bank of India since 2016, and it becomes the sole responsibility of the Reserve Bank of India to manage this inflation target using the monetary policy tools or various instruments starting from 2016, and the target is set at 4% plus or minus 2 by the central government. The objective is to ensure price stability in the economy. All right. So then next question is, which country for the first time started with this policy or this initiative of inflation targeting? The answer is New Zealand. Dear friends, New Zealand was the first country in the world to start inflation targeting. All right. After that, many countries followed the path taken up by New Zealand, because it became necessary for all the countries to keep the inflation within limits to ensure smooth functioning of any economy. Especially this was necessitated after the Venezuelan crisis, the crisis which happened in Venezuela. All right. Next question that we have is, what if the target is missed? Inflation target has been set by the central government, that is 4% plus or minus 2. What if the Reserve Bank of India is not able to achieve this target? Then in that case, the Reserve Bank of India has to come up with an explanation, proper explanation, explaining about the targets missed, the reasons behind that, and what measures is it taking to meet these targets once again to bring back the inflation within the prescribed limit. All right, this is about inflation targeting. So, yes, okay. Next, we have a news on McMohan Line, and dear friends, I expect at least one question this year on borders, various in issues related to Indian border. It might be LAC, LOC, or some coastal border or anything. But one question is 100% expected on this particular topic. All right. So we all know that this is not a new news. Like the kind of border dispute that is taking place between India and China, it is not new. It has been here since a decade. All right. Since the signing of Shimla Agreement in 1914, the border dispute is existing. But not just that, if you go back even to 1865 when the Johnson Line was drawn, even since then the border dispute is very much in news. But some recent incidents, including that from COVID-19 times, have once again brought to the fore the border dispute that is taking place between India and China. Okay, so in that regard, let us discuss few things. First of all, what is the total length of border between India and China? It is around 4,050 kilometers. So division, it has been divided into three divisions, that is western sector, middle sector, and eastern sector. This is western sector. This is western sector. The land boundary between Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh Union Territory, and China is called as western sector. Then the middle sector covers Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Then comes the eastern sector, which covers starting from Sikkim to Arunachal Pradesh. So these are three regions into which the Indo-China border has been divided. So the total length is 40-50 kilometers. The western side is around 2,150 kilometers. Middle sector is around 625 kilometers, and the eastern sector is around 1,140 kilometers. And this is the most disputed region. Recently, around 12 places of Arunachal Pradesh have been renamed by China. Although it is not under Chinese rule, they are under the Indian rule. Even then, China has gone ahead to rename these 12 regions of India. This is a provocation strategy, nothing else. So, with that being said, this particular eastern sector is called as the border in the eastern sector is called as McMohan Line. McMohan Line. McMohan Line was established in the year 1914 under the Shimla Agreement. Under the Shimla Agreement, or it is also called as Shimla Accord. Okay. It was a tripartite agreement between India, China, and Tibet. So it was signed in the year 1914. But since then, China has been opposing this demarcation. It has never ever accepted this demarcation. Even now, even today, China says that it is against this 1914 Shimla Accord, and as a reason, it claims most of the regions in India as its own. The root cause is here. The root problem lies in Shimla Agreement or Shimla Accord, which was signed in 1914. So China has never accepted this agreement as the basis for Indo-China border, right? So whereas India has accepted the border to be on the basis of Shimla Agreement. So this is where the root cause, the root problem lies. If you look at the various disputed regions in the eastern sector, that includes Namkachu, Sumodorongchu, Asafila, Longju, Dichu, Angse, Fishtail in Dibang Valley, and Lamang. These are around 8 important disputed regions in the eastern sector, that is McMohan Line. All right. So apart from that, there are few basic questions or one basic question that might be asked in the UPSC examination, that is Indo-China border. It is shared by Indo-China border is shared by how many states and union territories of India? So how many Indian states and union territories share Indo-China border? Right. Please comment the right answer for this particular question. I'd be telling the answer for this question in the next class. Okay. So please don't forget to comment the right answer. Next, we have something called as blue economy. Blue economy, it is about the economy surrounding the oceans, ensuring the sustainable use of oceans leads to blue economy. All right. So it is mainly concerned with the extraction of polymetallic nodules and deep sea mining. What is deep sea mining? It is basically the technique of extracting various minerals, including manganese nodules, and other polymetallic nodules from the seabed, especially that region which is below 200 meters. That region which is at the ocean depths below 200 meters, and any extraction from that particular region is called as deep sea mining, and countries usually resort to deep sea mining in search of polymetallic nodules, which includes even rare earth elements. This has become significant since 1980s and 1990s. Once the basic criteria are fulfilled, only then various countries are given an opportunity or the right to explore for polymetallic nodules outside their exclusive economic zone. So it is the sole right of any country to go for exploration of polymetallic nodules within the prescribed zone, that is within exclusive economic zone of that particular country. But anything beyond this exclusive economic zone, it becomes necessary for any country to obtain permission from International Seabed Authority for various explorations. Only once the basic criteria are fulfilled, then the country is given license for the exploration. All right. So this is about deep sea mining, and India is also starting its deep sea mission. It's under preparation. It includes mining for various polymetallic nodules. Thus, it will be a manned mission. It will be, please remember, it will be a manned mission by the India. So, utilizing this, India shall be going ahead with the deep ocean mission by 2025, as per the latest revelation by the central government. So, by 2025, the project shall be ready, and India would be going for manned missions into deep sea oceans to mine for various polymetallic nodules. Please remember. All right. So next, various examples for polymetallic nodules include copper, cobalt, nickel, and other rare earth elements. These are also called as manganese nodules. All right. Next, it's about Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. It's an initiative proposed by the United States of America. Presently, it has 14 members, including India. Please remember, presently there are 14 members, including India. And when the initiative was announced, or initially when it was signed, there were 12 members. India was always skeptical about this particular framework, but now it has accepted, or India wants to be a part of this particular framework. All right. So the basic objective of this particular initiative is to accommodate cooperation among countries in rival to the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative. See, the objective here is to act as a platform for various countries to come and negotiate the agreements which are comfortable between those two countries. It might be trade related agreements or it might be service related agreements. However, please remember, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework is not a free trade agreement. Please remember, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework is not a free trade agreement. It's a basic economic framework. It's a platform wherein various countries can come and discuss about the possible opportunities related to trade or service between those countries. However, it is not a free trade agreement. All right. So it was established in the year 2021 with 12 founding partners. So it includes Vietnam, South Korea, Japan, Philippines, United States of America, Brunei, New Zealand, Australia, Indonesia, Singapore, India, Thailand, and Malaysia. Right? Okay. So next we have an article on Interpol. It is always in news, and hence it becomes very, very important to have some basic idea about the Interpol. So it was established in the year 1923, and the present member states are around 195. It's basically the International Criminal Police Organization. In short, it is called as Interpol. The full name of Interpol is International Criminal Police Organization. International Criminal Police Organization, most famously called as Interpol. And India joined the institution in the year 1956. That is 33 years after it was formally established. It was established in the year 1923, whereas India joined this particular board in the year 1956. And its headquarters is located in Lyon, that is France. The basic objective is to collect and disseminate information from various police forces to facilitate criminal investigations across the globe. However, please remember, it doesn't have law enforcement powers such as arrest. All right. So the arrest and law enforcement has to be done by the respective countries. It can only act as a coordinator for investigating various crimes across the globe between various police agencies or police forces. It is just a coordinator. It cannot implement law and order. So it cannot arrest any person. Right. So next, you need to know some of the important notices that are relevant from Interpol point of view. That is red notice, blue notice, green notice, then yellow notice, black notice, orange notice, and purple notice. Red notice to seek the location and arrest of wanted persons. Blue notice is to collect additional information about a person's identity, location. Green notice is to provide warnings and intelligence about persons who have committed criminal offenses and are likely to repeat these crimes in other countries. Yellow notice is to help those people who are missing, and it is always used in case of minors. Then there is black notice, which seeks to provide information on unidentified bodies. Then we have orange notice. It is to warn a person or event, an object or a process representing a serious and imminent threat to public safety. Then we have purple notice. It is therefore to seek or provide information on modus operandi, objects, devices, and concealment methods used by criminals. So these are some 8 important notices that are issued by the Interpol, that is International Criminal Police Organization. Next, there is Mission Defspace, which was recently inaugurated by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. It is regarding the ensuring of security in space. It's an initiative. It's a joint initiative actually. It's a joint initiative between Ministry of Defense and the space sector, that is Indian Space Research Organization. So Defspace is a joint initiative between Ministry of Defense and Indian Space Research Organization. Please keep this in mind. So the objective is to uh, provides security in space to various Indian objects in space such as satellites satellites or maybe in future we might have our own space station. So space station satellites and some telescopes or anything it might be which is concerned with the space. Anything that is there in this space which is concerned with India providing security to those objects comes under Defspace, that is mission defense space. There is a concern expressed along with this mission, that is it might lead to militarization of space, which is actually happening in United States of America's case. USA has been slowly militarizing its space, but somehow it was not in the process of militarization, especially in the Asian countries. But with the launch of Defspace, experts not just in India but across the world have expressed concerns about the militarization of space starting from India. All right. Next, we have economic cooperation and trade agreement. Economic cooperation and trade agreement, which was signed by India and Australia. India and Australia. Please remember, this economic cooperation and trade agreement is a free trade deal. It's a free trade deal. It was signed in the year 2023. Please remember, it is first such agreement signed by India with any developed country. It's a first of its kind agreement signed by India with any developed country, and hence it becomes very significant, and it is a free trade deal. All right. So the deal is expected to increase bilateral commerce between India and Australia from its current level of 31 billion US dollars to 45 to 50 US billion dollars. All right. So before going into effect, the Australian Parliament has to ratify this deal. It has now been signed by both the countries. However, once the ratification is done by Australian government, it actually comes into force. All right. Then at present, the trade deal between India and Australia is 31 billion. It will increase to 45 to 50 billion dollars a year after the signing of or after the implementation of this trade deal. All right. Next, we have weapons of mass destruction bill. A bill was introduced in the year 2022 by External Affairs Minister on behalf of the Indian government. So previously, the act related to weapons of mass destruction was passed in the year 2005, which means at present we have an act regarding weapons of mass destruction tracing its origin to the 2005 law. There were some loopholes in this particular law, and hence to rectify those mistakes, the government of India had introduced this bill, which was eventually passed in the parliament. It seeks to bring in few changes which are actually major in nature with respect to the weapons of mass destruction or the usage of these weapons in the country. First thing is about its applicability. The coverage extends to biological, nuclear, or even traditional weapons. It expands, it is applicable to biological, chemical, nuclear, or even traditional weapons, which are weapons of mass destruction in nature. And it seeks to insert a new section known as 12A in the existing law, which states that no person shall finance any activity which is prohibited under this act or under the United Nations Security Council Act of 1947 or other relevant act for the time being in force, or by an order issued under any such act in relation to weapons of mass destruction and delivery systems. The original act was passed in the year 2005, and it banned only the manufacture of weapons of mass destruction. So the new law expands this horizon to include other things. It says no person shall finance any activity which is related to weapons of mass destruction. So this is the major change introduced by this bill. Previous law was in force since 2005. Please remember. Next, we have Black Sea Grains Initiative. It is an initiative signed between four countries, that is three countries and one institution, that is Russia, Turkey, Ukraine, and the United Nations. The objective is to ensure proper trade between these four institutions, that is three countries and one United Nations, related to grains, because these are major grain growing countries, which Ukraine and Russia. So any disagreement or any unintended situation, just like the ongoing war, should not affect the food security of these regions. Also, the food security of countries who are dependent directly or indirectly on these countries for various grains. So what happened in the month of January? In the month of January, Russia threatened to exit this initiative, that is Black Sea Grains Initiative, and it threatened to stop smooth supply of the grains from Ukraine to other countries. So as a result, the United Nations and Turkey intervened, and they mediated and ultimately convinced Russia to let go. All right. So this initiative concerns with three countries and one institution, that is the United Nations. Three countries are Russia, Turkey, and Ukraine. The agreement basically seeks to establish a secure maritime humanitarian corridor for the exports of grains from Ukraine to other countries which are dependent upon these grains. It will help Ukraine and its farmers as well as other countries dependent in terms of food security. All right, to ensure proper monitoring, inspection, and safe transit, all commercial ships must register directly with the JCC, that is Joint Coordination Center. Okay, so this was about a Black Sea Grain Initiative. I hope today's class has been helpful. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask through the comment section. And once again, keep revising, study hard. Exam is just around the corner. Don't waste any time. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day.